Hey guys, we are starting translations or transformations. And a transformation is a change in the size, location, or orientation of a figure. So if we enlarge or reduce an object, that is a dilation. We will be studying the dilations in a further chapter. If we change the location, we're sliding an object. If we change the orientation, we're either flipping it over or we are rotating an object. So today we're just going to focus on translations. So translations are often called slides. So translation is a transformation which maps each point of a figure the same distance and in the same direction. So maps or moves or slides, maybe we use the word slides. Slides each point of a figure the same distance and the same direction. So everything moves exactly the same amount in a translation. The resulting figure after a transformation is called the image of the original figure. And the original figure is often called the pre-image. So you'll hear me use that word pre-image. All right. We're going to go ahead and graph some transformations, these translations, using these verbal commands. We're going to have a fancier way of giving the command of how to translate the object in just a second, and that is called function notation, but for right now we're just going to use the words. So we want to take triangle KHV and we want to translate it or slide it 7 units to the left and 1 unit down. And the way you do translations is you move 1 point at a time. So you move K, then you move H, then you move V, and then you draw your triangle. So if I take K, I'm going to go 7 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 unit down. So here is my new K. And since I've moved K, I'll put K with a little apostrophe-like mark on top of it, and that's pronounced K prime, and that means K has been moved. Next, I'm going to move H. I'm going to go back 7, down 1. So H prime is going to be right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with V. I'm going to go back 7 and down 1. So V prime will be right there at -2, 4. Your last step then is to connect the dots so that you've actually translated the whole object. A lot of times students will forget to connect those dots, but remember that you're not just translating the points, you're translating the entire object. Okay, number 2. Now here the translation is given to us in function form. So let's see what this means. This means take any point x, y and move it to x, y minus 1. And notice that the x didn't change. It was x, it is x. So that means we're not going to change any left or right movement. But when we go from y to y minus 1, that means we need to move down 1. So that's the only movement we're actually going to do in this, is we're going to take every point and move it down 1, because y minus 1 is telling me to move it down 1. Alright, so I'm going to take x, move it down 1, there's x prime. Y, move it down 1, there's y prime. Move r down 1, and then move n down 1. Don't forget to connect your dots. So the quadrilateral has been moved, not just the points. Alright, and there is the translation. That is xy goes to x, y minus 1. Let's try it again. First, let's figure out what this translation means. So xy goes to x plus 4, y minus 3. So I'm going plus 4 in the y direction. So that means I'm going right 4. And then I'm going minus 3 in the y direction. So that means I would move down 3. All right, now that I know how I'm moving, I'm going to move each point one at a time. So Q will go to the right 4 and down 3. So there's Q prime. M will go to the right 4 and down 3. There's M prime. And T goes to the right 4 and down 3. There's T prime. And then I'll connect the dots so that I'm actually moving the entire object, not just the points. And I have completed my translation. Okay, that's half of the lesson. The other half of the lesson is moving in the other direction. So if I wanted to write the rule and I knew what the picture already looked like, how would I go about doing that? So we really need to pay attention to what it means when we add or subtract from each coordinate. So as a summary, if I'm going to add to the x coordinate, that means I'm moving to the right. If I subtract from the x coordinate, that means I'm moving to the left. Now, what does it mean when I add and subtract to the y coordinate? If I add to the y coordinate, I'm moving the point up. And if I subtract from the y coordinate, it means I'm moving the object down. So keeping that in mind, let's try to write a rule that describes each transformation. And each of these rules I want in function notation. I do not want them in words. So you're going to start out by saying, for each of them, take any point xy, and it goes to, so that's half the notation, x something, y something. We got to figure out what that something is. And the way you do this is just look at how one point is moving. That's all we need to focus on, is just how one point is moving. So I'm going to focus on G. And I'm going from G to G prime. It's not a left to right or right to left thing. Go from the point to the point prime. So moving from G to G prime means that I'm going to move to the left, and then I'm going to move down. Now I just need to count exactly how much that is. Since I'm moving to the left, I know I'm going to subtract, and since I'm moving down, I know I'm going to subtract. So it's left, let's count our boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So x minus 6. And then I'm going down 1, 2, 3 points, so it's y minus 3. So this is the rule for the transformation, the translation that is shown in problem number 4. All right, let's do another one. Number 5. If I want to go from W to W prime, I'm going up and to the right. So let's start by saying, okay, you take any point xy and you move it since I'm going up, I know I'm going to add to y, and since I'm going to the right, I know I'm going to add to x. So I know those are plus signs there. All right, I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to add 5 to y, and then I went over 1. So I'm going to add 1 to x. And there is the rule for the transformation that's in that picture. All right. At this time, you can go ahead and get your practice set 5-1 and get started on the practice set. You may continue to use your device while you're working on this, as long as you're not disruptive to others around you. And when you have finished your 5-2 practice set, your 5-1 practice set, go ahead and turn that in to the substitute, and I will see you tomorrow. And don't forget, if your name is left by the sub for any reason for being disruptive, you will not be allowed to use your note card on the next test. I will see you tomorrow.